I have spent most of my adult life in America, so I'm as American as it gets. Yet, when I face public, when I go outside, not only me, but a lot of other Afghans, when you tell them where are you from? First of all, the question is, where are you from? And you speak very well, where are you from? And you say, I'm from Afghanistan, all of a sudden their face changes and they try to look down on you, or, you dealing with Afghans on a daily basis, receiving proverbs, living there, meeting people, not only in a combat zone, but also in a civil form. What is your advice to Afghans? How do we deal with this kind of social phobia? How do we arm ourselves that, hey, look, we're not terrorists, okay? We did not bring the war upon us. We are a very peace-loving nation if everybody else allows us to do this. What is your message to kind of make us feel also good in America or in the West that we live in, that supportive, this is our home, this is where we're from? Sometimes you hear people out of hatred, they tell you, just go back home. I mean, this is my home. I have lived here half of my life, but I also know that I'm an Afghan first and foremost. So that shouldn't give me this lower status that I am not of a good citizen,
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, that is a problem, and my advice, I faced the same situation in reverse, in Afghanistan. Now, I didn't spend half my life there, but there were some Afghans who didn't know me until we spoke. They saw a foreigner, they saw Kadaji from America, and they thought I was a bad guy. They thought I was an invader. Some of them, yes. and you know what I found worked the best, a big smile and a nice conversation. A nice conversation.
I think the language is the only barrier that stands between two human beings.
That's exactly right, but everybody can smile, and so I think if an Afghan feels discrimination, that's obviously wrong in the United States. But the way to counter that, I believe, is with a big smile and a good, genuine, attempt at conversation, and that will win hearts. As dil ba dil ra dara. There's a way from heart to heart. Lazra nabal zra talashta. From heart to heart, there is a way, and people can connect. Proverbs are one way of doing it. So that's my advice.
And another Pashto proverb you want to throw it there?
Oh, there are so many. How about this one? Guata katura dashedi yispinye de. Although a cow is black, her milk is white.
Awesome. Like don't judge a book by its cover, right? We have it in America.
Don't judge a book by its cover. In Doria, you might say Hamara ba yakchasam nagakani.
Yes.
Everyone should be looked at with the same eye, and so it's important not to judge a book by its cover, whether you're Afghan or American or European or Asian or any nationality. We're all human beings, and the Proverbs show that. And as we've talked about before, Afghans and Americans have a lot in common, I believe, in their hearts, once you get past that language barrier.
That language barrier, that's right. Well, tell us about your future projects. What are you going to do with this book? Are you going to publish, for example, in a different language that's in Afghanistan, for example, Pashai, or I don't know, there's two main languages in Afghanistan, but are you planning to print something in Turkmen and Uzbek?
Well, I've actually already had an offer to translate the books into Uzbek, and I'm working right now on that.
You're always ahead of me. I fail to ask you any questions.
Well, there's just, people enjoy them, and then there's nothing better than to help bring people closer with things like Afghan Proverbs. And so my current plan, when I published Zarbul Masalha, 2.5 years ago, there was a very big demand for translations in other languages, and that became a children's book now published in 15 languages.
Right.
So my plan now is to publish Pashto Proverbs Illustrated, a children's book children's edition of Pashto Proverbs, and then begin having those translated into third languages. So a year from now, you'll probably see 10 or 15 books, a Russian edition of Pashto Proverbs illustrated, maybe a Chinese edition, an Urdu edition. Many plans, and it's going to happen because people around the world want it to happen, and they're helping me make it happen.
Right. As you know, we are friends on social media, and I every Saturday looking forward to get a piece from you. Putting a book together and introducing this illustration is something very, very cool. Who helps you put these illustrations together that exactly matches what you're talking about?
Well, as with the first book, the Matalona was illustrated by a high school in Kabul, Marifat High School.
Yes.
So after I collected the Proverbs and people sent them to me, it took about a year, the Pashto Proverbs, people sending them to me from all over the world. And I put them together, and I sent a list of 151 Proverbs to the school, and they were compensated, and they illustrated the Proverbs in their art class, 50 of them. And incredibly talented young Afghan students at a regular high school, 9th through 11th grade. And the art in the books is very, very beautiful, and shows the talent, in the hands of Afghans, and working together.
These books are absolutely beautiful. I'm very honored and privileged to get 12 of these beautiful books, and I have them in my collections. I can't wait to receive one in Pashto. I absolutely love these books. And tell us where everybody can get this, because by end of 2015, I want the world to know about Afghan Proverbs, not just 500,000 people. I want the whole population of the earth to know about this phenomenon that you're behind.
Well, we share the same goal, Mari John, and you're helping make that happen with this interview, actually. But the books are easily available online wherever books are sold. Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, the Book Depository, uread.com. You can find where to buy in over 100 countries by going to my website, afghansayings.com. Afghansayings.com.
Amazing.
And also through Twitter, at Afghan Sayings. If you follow me on Twitter, you'll get a new Proverbs every day. So they're easy to find. They're out there. As we say in Dari, Joyenda Yabandas, the seeker is the finder.
Yes. Do you have this book in digital print as well?
Yes, the Dari books are available on Kindle and also on Google Play and Google Books. So they're available for e-readers. And another one of my projects in the next year is to make the Pashto Proverbs book available for e-readers as well. And again, you can find all that information on Amazon.com or on my website, AfghanSayings.com.
Awesome. You translated the Dari version of the Proverbs in 12 languages, or 15, I believe, 15 languages. Are you planning to do the same thing with the Matalona?
That's exactly the plan, and many of the translators of the Dari books have already come forward and volunteered to translate Pashto Proverbs illustrated when that is published next year. So I believe the first editions will be in Russian, Swedish, Italian, and probably French.
Very awesome.
German too, sorry. German, that's a big one.
Yes.
Lots of Pashtuns in Germany.
Awesome, very good. I would like very much to see a Dari, a Pashto Matalona translated in Dari, and I will help you with that if you need it.
That's fantastic. That's wonderful. And I expect this to be a lifetime project. As you said at the beginning, there were thousands of good Zarbul Masalha and Matalona, Proverbs in Afghan culture and language. And so I'd be happy to work with you and with others to get those Proverbs out to the world.
Absolutely.
We'll make Afghan number one, in Proverbs in the whole world.
There's a proverb in Pashto that says, "Taqatna maharat shadi." It means skill is stronger than strength. You do have the skills, You have the resources. All we need is a worldwide support for these books, because the proceed, I'm sure, goes back to Afghan Literacy Group, as Mr. Zellem said. So we would like for every single one of you guys that hear me worldwide today to purchase this book, have a copy of it. It's beautiful. It's very glossy, and you would love to have it. Also, talk about this mystery proverb pictures that you're posting. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, so I'm having a lot of fun with this. People started sending me from all over the world pictures of themselves holding the books, and so I created something called the Afghan Proverbs mystery models.
That is awesome.
Mystery models, and every Thursday I publish a picture from someone somewhere in the world holding a book. Sometimes they're famous, sometimes they're not, and then people guess, and see if we can identify who the mystery model is. So right now there are over 30. They're on the website, and anyone can volunteer to be a mystery model. And in fact, Marzan, maybe you'd like to be one.
Sure, why not? I'm not so much of a mystery, but I tried.
But they're published on Thursdays. I publish them on Facebook and also on Twitter. On Twitter at Afghan Sayings.
Yes, you cannot miss Mr. Zellem's social media skills. He's all over Facebook, Twitter, hopefully Instagram, and we would even love to have an account for you in YouTube where everybody is just gonna recite one of two of the proverbs in their language and make a YouTube channel. That would be a great project.
Wow, that's a really good idea. That's really something.
Okay, now I gave you that idea. If if you become millionaire, don't forget me. Yes. Well, Mr. Zellem, we're running out of time. It is so much honor and privilege to have you again in the program. I always enjoy talking to you. You're such a positive role model and such a strong advocate for Afghan literacy. We appreciate your time, and we thank you so much for joining us in this program.
Well, thank you very much, Marzan. Dunya ba umid zendas. There's a lot of bad things going on in the world right now, but I hope everybody remembers that the world is alive with hope.
Yes, absolutely. Well, you have a wonderful day, and we thank you for joining us in this segment of our program.
Yar zinda sohbat baki, Marzan.
Khuda hafiz. Yar zinda wa sohbat baki. Mr. Zellem, a phenomenon, and that pushed this Afghan Proverbs to the world. 12 years ago, as I said, people did not know where Afghanistan was. You had to say next to Russia, and this is how people would know them. Today, he is sending books to Afghan Literacy Reading Club in Ghazni, one of the provinces in a very in the central part of Afghanistan. We're very much proud of his work, and we ask you, every one of you, to not only buy one book, two books, buy it, make it a present for your friend, for your colleague that's an Afghan or not Afghan. Let's spread the love of Afghan people to the world, that we are the most loving individuals, and we want nothing but happiness and peace on earth. Let's go to a commercial, and we will be right back.